You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 10th of April. Operation Sindoor showed multi-domain synergy, says India's Army Chief. Fuel price surge hits Karachi delivery riders. And Israel slams Pak Defense Minister, vows strong response. And now for all the details. Speaking at the Tri-Service Seminar in Bengaluru, India's Chief of Army Staff, General Upendra Dwivedi, highlighted the importance of multi-domain operations, saying Operation Sindoor demonstrated how coordinated efforts across land, air, sea and cyber domains can shape modern warfare. He noted that while space, cyber and cognitive domains benefit from centralized control, land warfare relies on decentralized execution combined with overall strategic coordination. Highlighting communication strategy, the Army Chief said most social media channels were shut during the operation to maintain a single verified source of information. The insights from Operation Sindoor, he said, will shape future military strategies in an increasingly complex and interconnected battlefield. Last year, in May, a brief armed conflict took place between the two hostile neighbors after India launched Operation Sindoor on terrorist camps in Pakistan as a response to the Pahalgam terror attack in India's Jammu and Kashmir, in which 26 civilians were killed. India has from time to time accused Pakistan of supporting cross-border terrorism, which Pakistan denies.
In Operation Sindoor, it was the ground intelligence network coupled with cyber and EW inputs that gave the joint Army-Air Force targeting cycle its precision, while the Navy's repositioning shaped the strategic calculus simultaneously. No single domain decided the operation. Each domain created the condition the other needed, and that sequence mutually enabling action, that is the essence of the multi-domain operations.
And in a bid to strengthen India-US ties, India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri on Friday held several high-level meetings during his visit to Washington. He met FBI Director Kash Patel and discussed cooperation in countering terrorism. Sharing the details of the meeting in a post on X, the Indian Embassy in the US said, Vikram Misri met Director FBI Mr. Kash Patel today. Both had a useful exchange of views on the robust India-US cooperation in countering terrorism, organized crime and narcotics. During his meeting with the US Foreign Secretary Alison Hooker, discussions were focused on working closely on security, defense and economy. Earlier, Misri also met US Secretary of State Marco Rubio with US Ambassador to India Sergio Gore present during the discussions. The meeting reviewed the overall trajectory of bilateral ties. Throughout his visit, Misri engaged with senior United States officials, focusing on key global developments, including the evolving situation in West Asia and the Indo-Pacific, while also reviewing strategic defense and trade relations between the two countries. And security has been tightened in Pakistan's Islamabad as the country prepares to host US-Iran talks on Saturday, which are expected to focus on extending the ceasefire beyond the current 2 weeks and easing regional tensions. An increased security presence was seen in the capital's red zone, which houses the country's top government buildings. Authorities effectively locked down parts of the capital Islamabad on Thursday as Iranian officials flew in, with the US delegation led by Vice President J.D. Vance arriving on Friday. Amid these developments, Pakistan is under mounting pressure to successfully mediate between Washington and Tehran. Analysts warn that any failure could damage the country's renewed diplomatic standing. Experts also note that Pakistan is motivated by fears that unrest in Iran, especially in border regions like Sistan, Balochistan, could worsen its own security challenges.
So there are two sets of pressures that Pakistan feels. The first and foremost is that if there is chaos because of the war, if the regime weakens in Iran and there's chaos in the country, especially in the southeast of the country, in Sistan and Balochistan province, then you have a situation that's really bad for Pakistan. Why? Because Pakistan is already facing a destabilized western flank. The areas west of the Indus River, because of the TTP insurgency and the Baloch insurgency, their Pakistanis are struggling to deal with both.
Rising fuel prices in Karachi are taking a heavy toll on delivery riders, cutting into their earnings and making it increasingly difficult to meet daily targets. Riders say their income has dropped sharply while the cost of basic necessities continues to climb. We have a report.
Delivery riders in Pakistan's Karachi say the recent surge in petrol prices has severely affected their livelihoods. With fuel costs rising, the number of deliveries they can complete per liter has dropped significantly. Riders say the situation has led to reduced income and increased financial pressure as daily expenses continue to rise.
पेट्रोल महंगा होने की वजह से बस मसला ये हुआ है कि जैसे हम पहले 1 लीटर फ्यूल के अंदर जो था कि 18 से 19 ऑर्डर जो हम करते थे, अब वो है कि वो 11 से 12 भी बड़ी मुश्किल से होते हैं। उसकी रीज़न ये है कि डिस्टेंस भी वही है, सब कुछ वही है, लेकिन फ्यूल रेशो जो है उस पर काफ़ी असरअंदाज हुआ है। हमारा जो टारगेट होता है डेली बेस पे, उस पर हम बहुत ज़्यादा मुतासिर हो रहे होते हैं।
In addition to fuel prices, riders say poor road conditions, traffic congestion, and extreme heat are adding to their challenges. Riders are now appealing to the government for relief, saying immediate action is needed to ease their burden. Delivery riders warn that if fuel prices continue to rise, their ability to sustain their work and support their families will become even more uncertain.
हर चीज़ जो है ना पहुंच से बाहर हो चुकी है, तो जहां हम लोग जो है ना 100 रुपये खर्च करके कोई चीज़ लेते थे घर के खाने के लिए, तो वहाँ हमें 400 रुपये 300 रुपये खर्च करने पड़ रहे हैं। तो ये हमारी पहुंच से बिल्कुल बाहर हो गया है और जाहिर सी बात है इस गुर्बत के आलम में जो है ना फिर मुश्किल हो जाता है बहुत ज़्यादा गुजारा। तो हुकूमत से अपील है हम लोगों की कि बराए मेहरबानी कुछ जो है ना हम लोगों पे कोई रहम खाएं, तो इस तरीके से जो है ना हम लोगों के लिए परेशानियां ना खड़ी करें।
And a sharp diplomatic exchange has erupted between Israel and Pakistan, with Israel strongly condemning remarks made by Pakistan's Defense Minister Khwaja Asif and reaffirming its right to defend itself. In a post on X, Pakistan's Defense Minister Khwaja Asif had accused Israel of committing violence in multiple regions and criticized its military actions, further escalating the rhetoric. In response, Israel's Foreign Minister Gideon Saar issued a strong rebuttal. He wrote, calling the Jewish state cancerous is effectively calling for its annihilation. Israel will defend itself against terrorists who vow its destruction. The Pakistan Defense Minister's statement has put the fragile ceasefire between US and Iran at even more risk, even before the commencement of the negotiations in Islamabad. This adds more embarrassment after Pakistan's fumble in clearly defining the terms of the 2-week ceasefire. The latest war of words underscores the deep divisions and challenges facing diplomatic efforts in West Asia. And celebrations of the vibrant Biska Jatra have begun in Bhaktapur, marking the Nepali New Year with a spectacular display of culture and tradition. The 9-day festival opened on Thursday with captivating performances by artists from the Neva community who, dressed in traditional attire, performed rhythmic dances to drum beats at the iconic Nyatapola temple. One of the most striking rituals of the festival is the ceremonial chariot procession of Lord Bhairav, whose idol is placed on a towering wooden chariot constructed in front of the Nyatapola temple, the tallest temple in Nepal. The 3-story pagoda-style chariot carrying the idols of Bhairavnath and Betal is pushed and pulled across settlements as part of the celebrations, which span 9 days and 8 nights. Deeply rooted in history, the festival is believed to date back to the Malla dynasty and officially begins 4 days before the Nepali New Year. The festival, believed to have originated during the centuries-old Malla dynasty, starts 4 days before the Nepali New Year.
It was really coordinated. Each and every single person really danced in coordinated way, and there was not a single mistake among any one of them. So it was really a nice performance and a very beautiful one.
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.